experience and that internship is so valuable in giving you that inroad into the corporation.
Hi, I'm Lisa Coates Foster. I was at INROADS from 1982 through 1986, and I interned with PNC Bank, which at that time was Pittsburgh National Bank. I've been in corporate America, and I've been in the nonprofit sector, and now I'm in academia. But I take the skills that I learned when I was in INROADS, I take them with me wherever I work.
I didn't have an issue with anything that we had to do for INROADS. I mean, it was, yeah, I mean, I like the Saturday morning training programs, and I like the bus ride, and it just never seemed like it was a real, a real imposition, if you will. It was all just kind of what you had to do, because one of the things I realized is that I was the only one coming home from my summer job in college with a suit and tie on. And, you know, and I sort of started putting two and two together, like, okay, well, this is something really special. You know, I was the only one, I think, that could say, well, I've got senior leadership in these companies that I'm interning at who have taken an interest in me, and I know on a first name basis, and I go out to lunch and dinner with, and that's really special. I often think if you took somebody in white America and put them in an environment early on in college and said, you have to work for an all-black company for 4 years, and then I'm going to send you in your professional career, well, for the most part, you're still going to work in an all-black company. I mean, wow. I mean, you talk about learning how to play the game. I mean, you talk about understanding the playbook. I mean, that's what it's all about. So for all of us that present with confidence and have been successful in their careers, it's all because of what we gained from the INROAD experience.
Well, even though I'm not in corporate America, I utilize everything that I learned in INROADS, and I have the opportunity to share it with students. I work at a university, and so I encourage all of my students to take internships when they get the chance, to take advantage of the different workshops we have on campus, and I just let them know the importance of networking. And as I advise student organizations, I encourage them to do those types of activities, and all of that is something I learned from INROADS. I really want to give back to INROADS, and I just think that it would be great if the alumni really supported and got Pittsburgh just rolling again.
A week doesn't go by before I lean on my INROADS training, you know, that I received, and I actually can see people doing things that I know INROADS taught me not to do. You know, so that's always a kind of a funny scene for me.
I've enjoyed my time. I wouldn't trade it for the world. It has made me the person I am today. And I want to thank the INROADS organization, the Pittsburgh staff in particular, for allowing me to participate, because this evening is all about the organization and what they were able to do for us.
My name is Sonia Austin. It was Williams. This is my maiden name. I was with INROADS pre-college, so 1982 through 1989 in college, and my sponsoring company was Alcoa Technical Center. You know, it was challenging, it was educational, but it was fun.
What are you doing now?
I work for BNY Mellon. I'm a project manager in IT.
And the thing that was always drilled in us was that INROADS was not just a summer job. Knowing that meant that the time you put in was not just for today, it was for a lifetime. And that's what I would want to instill in our youth today, because a lot of kids are looking for the immediate gratification. And when they don't get that, then we have an increase in violence, and we have a lot of things that go wrong. But if they can just see that the very goals that you want to attain, if you put the time in, you'll have them, and you'll be able to sleep at night very comfortably.
You know, our grandparents, as they went through Jim Crow, they were soldiers. And, you know, for my generation, the first that was openly accepted into corporate America, we were soldiers in many respects. You know, for this generation of millennials, it's a different environment. We respect and appreciate that their world is a very different one from ours. But some things have not changed. And that notion that you're going to have to work twice as hard, that you're going to have to be committed and make sacrifices, that values matter, those notions don't go away. And at the end of the day, for those that find their passion and commit themselves fully to it, there is reward.
My parents were both educators. They were also both from the South. And part of the reason why we moved to Pittsburgh was to give me more opportunities as a child. So in my household, we were expected to reach a little further, and the average wasn't okay. So the motivation really came from home.
What are you doing now?
Right now, I was a major in communications, but I manage large-scale construction projects for the utility in Louisville, Kentucky. and I manage construction projects at power plants. And I definitely know that INROADS gave me the skills to do that, because that you don't see very many people of color or very many women, and that was not a new situation for me due to INROADS.
I'm 18 years old, going into corporate America, and really just, I think being teachable was the win for the day. I think there were a lot of people in the corporations who sponsored INROADS interns who were willing to teach and guide and mentor. And I think being open and being teachable was a win.
I teach nutrition and yoga to kids and adults. And my INROADS training, even though I'm in the school system, I knew how to run a meeting because I had the INROADS training. I get comments on how professional the work is when they weren't expecting it. So sometimes they think, oh, yoga lady, that I'm going to come in a sarong, and when I come in, prepared and ready to do business and execute, people are pleasantly surprised.
INROADS kind of helped me remold, reshape my own self, become more of a professional. Some skills that I didn't have walking in, like interviewing, putting together a resume, learning how to speak properly to individuals. I didn't have that before I went to INROADS, and I really have to thank INROADS for that. We as individuals that have come through that program, we have a obligation to try to give back. To reach out, talk to some of the younger individuals, particularly urge the ones on that already have that light in their eyes, that they want to go to college. I think we have an opportunity to at least bring them up a little bit further. And then the ones that are still kind of teeter-tottering maybe on the other side, just to sit back, give them a talk, tell them some of the things that you actually went through. I think it can help some individuals.
It is a challenging program, but I thrive on challenges. I know what I wanted for my future. I knew what it would take to get to that point, and whatever it took, I was willing to do it. And yes, there was a lot of sacrifice with INROADS, but it was a pleasure, it was a joy. I made great friendships, lasting friendships, and I enjoyed it.
The biggest takeaway from this event, I think, is the energy and the love that just seemed to envelop all of us. I think you can't put your words, I can't put words to it, the feeling that I have about being here. It's just too difficult, it's too deep, it's too powerful for me.
All I can say